Back to math. We're going to be talking about connecting area models with number lines. As you see, we have our orange square up there. What would we call that, since it's all shaded in, what would we call the thing all shaded in?
A hole.
This is one hole. You're correct. What number would we put on the number line for that side of the area model? What would we do? Go.
Put a 0.
Put a 0. Why are we putting a 0 there? Because as you notice, there's nothing over here, is there? So that's our first square, isn't it? So that's why we're going to put a 0 there. Now what do you think we're going to put on this side of the box? Go.
A 1.
A 1. Excellent. Does that make sense so far? Now, let's say I have I'm going to draw another box, okay? I'm going to hook it onto this one so it doesn't make anyone confused, okay? And let me shade that guy in. How much do we have now? How much do we have now? Well, let's go ahead and we'll make our lines like we did last time. What would go here at the end of that box? What number would go at the end of that box? Yes?
A 2.
A 2. Very good. I hope you guys got that as well. Now, do you notice I put a line right here? What would we call that line right there? What would we call that line? Go.
Half.
It's a half. You're correct. So if you notice, by just looking up at our box, we have one box, so we have 1.5. Is that correct? Okay, so we have 1.5 boxes. So we could write that down as a mixed number. A mixed number is when you have a big number with a fraction. So how much do we have shaded in? 1.5. So I could put that here. Okay? Now let's say I wanted to make this one shaded in with purple. What do you think I should write if I'm saying we have one amount of 1.5 boxes, and then we have another what? How much do we have in purple? Yeah.
A half.
Right, it's a half. So, remember we only have 4 things we do in math. Do you remember what the 4 things are? Adding, subtracting,
multiplying, and dividing.
So the question becomes, which one of these are we going to put in this blank area right there? Which one of those are we going to put in the blank area right there? Which one of those? Yes.
Subtraction.
Okay, now let's think about this for a second. If we're going to put a subtraction box there, I just asked, how much do we have for all the shaded areas? How much do we have for the orange shaded area? We wrote that down as 1.5. How much do we have for the orange shaded and the purple shaded area? How much do we have for the orange? So which symbol do we want to put? Do we want to put the subtract sign?
No.
Which one do you think we should put?
Addition.
Addition. You would be correct. So I'll bet we could figure out how much we have shaded in total. Does anybody know the answer? Does anybody know the answer? Yes.
You have 2 holes.
We have 2 holes. Why? Because we have 1.5, right?
Yes.
And then we added the purple half. So this makes a one hole, doesn't it? Do you see that?
Yep.
Do you see the way it made one hole? Two halves make a
Oh.
If you cut your candy bar in half and you had both halves, would you have a whole candy bar?
Yes.
Yes, you would. And this is the same as this. You would have a whole. Okay, so let me pull that off, and that's how we got 2. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is everybody good with that?
Yes.
Okay, here's what I want to do now. I'm going to pull this off, okay? And I'm going to get rid of this, and I'll get rid of this. I'll get rid of that. And I'm going to shade these in, okay? Let's do another type of problem. Let's do one like, oopsie, like this. Question. How many, what is all the area, what's all the areas that have been shaded in? What's all the areas that have been shaded in? What's all the area that's been shaded in? Yes.
2 holes?
We have 2 holes. If you notice, we have the, I'll use my highlighter for this. We have 1 box here, right? So that's 1. And then we have the other box here, don't we? So that goes to this number, doesn't it? So that means how many holes? 2 holes. Do you see that? All right. So I'm going to put that down here. I've got a 2. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. Now which sign goes in when I cross one off? You know what? Let me back up slightly. Sorry. What if I did this? What if I said, okay, watch carefully. Ready? I have my 2 holes, right? Ooh, what happened? What, can someone tell me what happened up there? Do you want me to do it again? Ready? Watch the screen. Here we go. Oops. Isn't that about right? What happened? What happened? Yes, sir.
You took away a half.
Ooh. So I subtracted, right? I took away a half. Do you see how that works? Now, how much did I take away? How much did I take away? Someone tell me how much I took away. Yeah. Yeah, this is a half that I took away. So what am I going to write? 2 subtracting or minus a half. And that's going to leave me with how much is now shaded in? 1 and a half. Right. Does that make sense? Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Are we okay?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to show you the way it does it in the book. And the reason why they do it in the book is because they don't have Mr. McGuire's handy-dandy iPad. You thought I was going to say notebook, huh?
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to shade that back in. How much do I have total? Say it out loud.
2 holes.
I have 2 holes. Okay, now here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cross this one out because on paper I can't make things disappear, can I?
No.
Because I don't have the ability to do that. Even though I am pretty special.
Wink.
So when I cross one off, what does that mean? What sign do we put for crossing that off? What sign? Yes.
Subtract.
Yeah, we're going to subtract. Now, how much has been X'd off? Yes.
A half.
A half. So now, our problem is what? Can you repeat this problem for me?
Two wholes
subtracting
by
a half equals how much do we have?
1.5.
1.5. Now, if you notice, this is our half right here, isn't it? Does that all make sense so far? Does everybody understand that? Am I going too fast for anyone?
No way.
Okay, I'm going to do another one, okay? And we're going to see if we can figure this one out, okay? Okay, as you can see, we've drawn out our new problem. Could you tell me what number is going to go in there? And we're going to put a symbol in the round part, and then we're going to put another blank. Does anyone know what what goes in this first blank right here? Does anybody know what goes in the first blank right here? Go.
Subtraction?
You remember to put a subtraction sign in right here?
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Subtraction in a circle.
In the circle. Why are we going to subtract? Yeah.
Because the x's.
Yeah, because we've X'd out things, and that's the only way we can show on paper that we're subtracting, right? Because we can't make them disappear, because then you don't know they're gone. All right, so what's our number that goes here? Do you remember what number goes in a subtraction problem? What's the first number in a subtraction problem? Do you remember what that is? What's the number in a subtraction problem?
The total?
The total is first, you're right. The total, by the way, for you out on the internet land, the total always comes first in a subtraction problem. The total also comes first in a division problem. So what's our total here today? Go ahead. Go. 3. 1, we have 1, right? That's where our 1 is. 2, 3. So our number is 3. Good job. Now how much, since you guys knew it was a subtraction problem, how much are we going to subtract or take away? Yes. Okay, is it just a half?
No.
Well, this is a half, right? Is there only one x?
No.
No. So, is a half right?
No.
No. What do you think we should subtract? Yes, sir.
1.5.
Okay, he's saying 1.5. Why would you say 1.5? Well, because I'm going to use my, I'm going to highlight this. This is 1 whole, isn't it? And if you notice, on our number line, that's the same as this right here, isn't it? And then we have how much more crossed out from here, right? So that's really 1.5 is crossed out. So that's how we got 1.5. We're going to subtract that. Now, when you look at the orange one, how much is left? Yeah.
1.5.
Yeah, there's 1.5 left. Because if you notice, this is 1 here, right? And a half. If you don't know, let's take this number. I'm going to take this and move it over there. 1.5. I'm going to take this number, I'm going to drop it down. And I'm going to do the opposite activity. 1.5 plus 1.5 is 3 wholes. You are correct. See that? See that number right there? Remember I told you the subtraction problem always starts with a
Total.
total.
An addition problem.
So, in addition problem, we end up with the total, right?
Yeah.
So, on a number line, when we subtract, we go to the left, and when we add, we go to the right for our totals. Does that make sense? Okay, that's a lot in that lesson, isn't it?
Yeah.
We did a good job. Please feel free to play this back again if you don't get it. Play it back as many times, pause it, write things down as we go, okay? It's important. And practice it. Practice, practice, practice will make it a lot easier. Well, you guys, as I say with every one of my math lessons, I love math.